MC energy, the person who's leading from the front and getting everyone engaged, is a very different energy than speaker energy. It's hard to have the energy to do both. Someone who MCs, it's definitely a different gear than who you are just one-on-one. It's different than who you are as a speaker or a teacher. That energy is different, and you want to capture the MC energy. Today, we're talking about 5 ways that you can improve your skills as an MC in youth ministry.
Welcome to the Ministry Coach Podcast, the coach for the coachless in youth ministry. My name is Jeff Lascola, and this is
Kristen Lascola. And today we're going to talk all about emceeing and leading up front well. And I can't believe we've never talked about this, because emceeing, leading up front, catching the room and running with it is a really big part of youth ministry.
Yeah, this actually came from a suggestion from a viewer on YouTube. So thank you so much.
What's their name?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that too. I'm going to say Will.
Thank you, Will. That was a great suggestion.
And if it's not, sorry, not Will.
Whoever you are, very smart. So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips for you today on how to lead an MC really well. So number 1, it's helpful to have the MC and the speaker be 2 different people. Now, I get some of us have a very skeleton crew and we don't have a lot of people to choose from. So do your best. If you can enlist other people to MC with you or for you, that is a great idea. The reason is because if you're doing it all your own, I don't even have to explain this to you, it's hard to have the energy to do both. And also, it's a very different energy. So the MC energy, the person who's leading from the front and getting everyone engaged, is a very different energy than speaker energy. I almost feel like I am taking off my costume and putting on a new outfit like when I do it, because it's like who I am as a speaker is very different than who I am as like a hype person. Yeah. And that's kind of what we want. It's a funny story. So our friend Kirk, he has an interesting personality. He's an Enneagram 5, which those are very rare. And someone had been telling our lead pastor, oh, Kirk is amazing up front. Kirk is great. And he's like, I met the guy. And I was like, him? Because he's very introverted and
very reserved
and kind of can be serious in just a regular social setting. And he's like, and then I saw that guy on stage and he had a 5th gear I never knew about.
One of the funniest people I know.
He's hilarious. And to the point where if you've watched any of our episodes on the battle or you're going through our course, we talk about how to do the battle. It's this big outreach event. Even when Kirk wasn't in youth ministry anymore, they would book him to MC the battle. They call it tournament series, because he was so good at capturing a room. He was funny. He was energetic. He was engaging. He is so quick on his feet and witty and just captures the audience. But it was like this different gear. All that to say, someone who MCs, it's definitely a different gear than who you are just one-on-one. It's different than who you are as a speaker or a teacher. That energy is different. And you want to capture the MC energy like Kirk. So that 5th gear, you got to find your inner MC. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that. But I just want you to know right off the bat that if you can divide up that role, meaning you are the MC, like tomorrow night we have youth group. I'm MCing with one of my interns and my guys director is teaching. I never do both. On the weekend, I MC'd and he spoke. And then next week it'll be reversed. He'll MC and I'll speak. And we divide that up for our own sake, because it's a lot of energy to do both and it's a different energy, but also you want to give other people an opportunity to learn how to lead from the stage if they aren't teachers or speakers. So people are going to see you all the time if you're the primary teacher or speaker, and that might not be in everyone's gift set. It's really hard to raise up a teacher of the gospel, like a Bible teacher, a speaker, a preacher, a pastor, whatever you call it at your church. That's a hard job to fill. However, if you want people to get more FaceTime and have your group see someone else up on stage, emceeing is a great role that you can give them and teach them. That's a lot easier than teaching someone how to teach.
Yeah.
And also the audience likes it. The audience likes, oh, this person and that person, instead of just one face, one voice, one style the entire time. It's like, oh, here's the MC, that person leaves, here's the worship leader. Wow. Then here's the speaker. And they're engaging with each person in a different way because each person brings something different to the table. And so it keeps the audience, the crowd, the church, the congregation, the youth group more engaged when the face is different. So if you have the option to do that, have more than one person leading the show, take advantage of that and do that.
How often do you do a single MC versus two MCs at the same time?
Great question. On the weekends, I do a single MC because it's smaller. It's one classroom. Like there's no big light show and sound system. I mean, we have a sound system. It's just not big.
Right.
So one person cuts it. It's great. So this week, actually, I did one service. Arden did the other. She's my admin, girls director, intern role. On Tuesdays, we're on the big stage. We're in the main auditorium with the big sound system and all the lights and all the bells and whistles. And that stage is huge and it's really fun to have two. I like having a guy and a girl. So I have me and Arden. We're the two girls on our team. And then I have Trevor and Johnny, and those are my boy interns. And then Caleb is my guys director. So when I schedule a Tuesday, I send out the notes to my team. We have a channel called Tuesday Night Prep, and I say it's either me and a guy emceeing or Arden and a guy emceeing and then the speaker. So yeah, I think it's cool to have like a mix up there so that kids are seeing guys and girls leading and changing it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, depending on the size of your stage, you might only need one. If you can do two, do two. If you have a bigger room or stage for it. All right. Number 2, involve the audience. So I think a really good MC acknowledges the audience often and is not trying to do a one-man show, stand-up comedy routine and make it all about them. But the point is you're usually the first one to go up on the stage. You're usually starting the night before anything else has happened. So you're the person welcoming everyone and you're setting the tone for engagement for the rest of the night. So I feel like the MC needs to constantly be bridging the gap between the stage and the audience over and over and over again and getting them and keeping them engaged. So here's some ways that I like to do that. If you hate them, come up with your own. I'll just tell you what I like to do. So when I call the kids in, so we have our countdown clock for Tuesday night youth group. It starts at 6:30. At 6:30, we start our 5-minute countdown clock till 6:35. That's when I start. And I'll be like, hey, if you guys can hear me, come on in. We're going to get started. And I'm not on the stage at this point. I go down on the floor. And as kids are coming in, I ask them survey questions and I get them engaged and
on the mic.
Yeah, because they love talking in the microphone. Hello. Can I say something? Sure. Hello. Hi. Good one. Never heard it before. So I'll come up to them and I'll say, what's your favorite part of chaos? That's our youth group name. And they'll be like, some of them are like nervous. And then they'll finally say like the game or worship or small groups. And then I run over to another person. What's your favorite part of chaos? If a holiday's coming up, I'll be like, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your favorite thing to eat at Thanksgiving? You could ask a holiday related question. It's summer right now. So we could say, where are you going on vacation this year? Or are you, bring your summer camp into it. Are you going to Whitewater with us? Are you excited for Whitewater? On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Whitewater? Have you started packing? Raise your hand if you've started packing. And you're just working the crowd and you're getting them engaged. You're down on the floor with them and you see kids kind of like eagerly waiting, like, I hope she comes to me. I hope she comes to me.
Or the introverts slithering into a corner like a cockroach.
Oh my gosh, do not come this way.
That'd be me.
I must have mostly extroverted kids because I feel like they are like, get me on that microphone.
That's
I am
school.
Ready. So I like to do that right off the bat. Another thing I do to get the audience engaged is we kind of do like an icebreaker. Ours is the impossible shot. So it's like, I got this from like Doug Fields' when I first started youth ministry. They still do it.
Yeah. It's different than how you do it. Theirs is different than how you do yours.
Yeah, theirs is different. So I went to Josh Griffin's youth room, and he has his like up on the, his is like, I forget what they shoot through it. Is it a Nerf gun?
It's like a Nerf bow and arrow type
Nerf bow
thing.
and arrow. I just put a rinky-dink little basketball hoop on a PVC pipe, and we hold it with a pole, and a kid has to make it in from a certain point. But before they make the shot, they have to come up on stage and answer the impossible question. And it's something ridiculous that's multiple choice. And here's a great way to bridge your audience is use their name in the question. So we have a girl named Sawyer, and it'd be like, if Sawyer drank 4 monsters and then spun around in 8 circles, what would the moon say to her on her 18th birthday if she was driving a Jeep to Disneyland?
Are you using the question, like when you say use the person's name, that's the person you're bringing up?
No, it could be
just
like
a student's name.
Student,
Gotcha.
you know, so you're adding in students' names, and they might see themselves up there, and you are bringing a student up on stage to answer it. But
okay,
obviously I can't write I guess I could be like, I hope Sawyer's here tonight, and write her name into the question. But it's just a way to get kids up on stage, talking in the mic again, answering question. No matter what they answer, they're correct.
Right.
And then we send them down, and they try to make the shot, and then we bring up someone else. But during that time, you know, I'll go into the energy part of that in a little bit. But the point is, you want to get them on stage. You want to get their name out there. You want this to be, we're bridging the gap. It's not like, well, we're up here and you're down there. It's like, you're a part of this from the time you walk in to the time you leave. And we're expecting you to engage the entire time. And I'm going to make that very clear because I'm going to engage you. You know, can I just pause, PSA this for a second? Never, ever, ever, ever get up on stage and do this. Good morning, everyone. I can't hear you. I said good morning. Fill in any phrase there, like, are you guys excited to be here? Huh? I don't hear you. Here's what you're asking the audience to do. You're asking them without even, like, you haven't given them anything to be excited about yet. You haven't given them any, like, good morning. I don't know. I just got
picture
here.
You with a clown horn and suspenders when you do that.
I just feel like you're trying to be very artificially friendly. It's like when someone just says, good job. And you're like, good job on what? I don't know. You're just doing great. You're like, that means nothing. So I just feel like that's a very artificial, we're connected, right? Because I said good morning and you guys said good morning too. But then I shamed you for not saying it good enough. And then you had to say it again. Just don't stop. Just engage them well, and they will engage. So your job is to create real engagement with them, not like guilt them into like, come on, you guys, you're just so like, where is everyone? It's crickets in here. Like, never point out their lack of energy. Okay. It's your job to draw it out. All right. As the MC. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have a weird look
I'm
on
just
your
thinking
face.
of all the cringy moments I feel like I've heard over.
You're making me feel like I'm cringy
well,
right
you
now.
are, but only some of those I was thinking of were from you. So just kidding.
It's easy, huh? It's so easy. Why don't you do it?
No, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Something else I like to do with kids is ask for feedback and questions, you know, so like say I'm announcing, all right, guys, we're leaving for camp on Thursday. You got to be here at 7 a.m. What time? 7 a.m. All right, good. I'm glad you guys are like, you got it. So I'll see you there, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'll be like, this is probably cringy. Speaking of cringy MCs.
Here we go.
Use this against me. I'll say, look at the person next to you and say, get here at 7 or else.
So cringy.
Get here at 7 or else.
Do you put a square sign? If you're not here, you're a square. What a nerd.
I just had an out-of-body experience. Delete it. All right. One thing I do with kids too, I say, give me 2 thumbs up if you had a great day, 1 thumb if it was okay, 2 thumbs down. Like, then it's like, you don't have to say anything. You just go like this. It's kind of cringy. When I'm there,
this list is spiraling out of control.
When I'm there, it's great. When I'm here with you,
you're cringe shaming others.
When I'm here with you, getting judgy eyes. Anyways, I'm gonna move on to number 3 because this is just tanking real quick. Want more tips? Here, I'll give you some good.
Welcome to the Ministry Cringe Podcast.
The Ministry Cringe Podcast. You want to have a lot of energy, positivity, and humor. Again, so you're the one driving the energy of the night or the morning or whatever. So I try to have a lot of energy. Our stage is big, so I try to take up the stage with my body. I just lay down,
roll around up
do
there.
some cartwheels, make sure I touch every square inch of it. No, but like when we do the impossible shot, I'll like look at Johnny. I'll be like, Johnny, what time is it? That's right. It's time for thee. And then we'll look at each other and say, impossible shot. And then Tech brings in the music and it's House of Pain Jump Around, and Johnny and I start jumping and the kids start dancing. And if they want to do it, I said, I'm not going to pick you unless you're dancing. I'm doing Fortnite cringy dances up there and making a fool of myself, but I love it. And they get into it. They match our energy. So just know that yes, some of the things I said are cringy, but hear me when I say they will match your energy. You cringe, they cringe, we all cringe together. But no, when I'm like jumping around and dancing and I see them, they'll like put each other on their shoulders and they're like, pick me. They're like flossing as fast as they can, like, because they want me to pick them to do the impossible shot. So just have that fun and that energy. And then I'll often demonstrate the game. Like I'll walk out into the audience, or a leader and I will demonstrate it. Like I'll throw a ball at their face and I'll be like, do headshots count? Yes, no crying, Johnny, So like make sure you're just having fun with it, being physical and not just standing in one spot and being very serious and any of that.
How much do you like read the room though? Because I feel like the level of awkwardness goes up when you're like going out of your mind and everyone just like, what is happening right now? I say that because I saw a super, super old video of Rage Against the Machine. It was on Instagram or something. I can't remember where. And it was like, this was their first show and they were on a level 10 energy, but it was at a college campus. And at least the people I saw in the video were just watching. Whereas it's like, well, fast forward 5-10 years or whatever it was, they're playing in front of stadiums and people are going nuts and all that. But it just looked awkward.
So the tips I'm giving would be not for church on Sunday. Okay. This is for like youth group. This is for camp. This
where they're
is
awake
for
and the energy is
an
up
event.
there.
This is for your midweek program. I would not do this stuff on Sunday morning at church. You're right. It would be a total mismatch. You would be.
Are you ready to rock, Springfield?
There's like 12 kids. Like, I guess I just woke up. I haven't even eaten breakfast. So yeah, I think at night, like I even noticed that at camp, the morning Devo and morning worship is very different.
Yeah.
So like in the morning at camp, we do acoustic. Someone does a Devo unmiked. We send the kids to solo time. And then at night, we're playing Kajabi Can and kids are flying through the sand and like the music is turned up. It's competitive. People are dancing. People are wearing weird costumes. Like that's camp at night. So I guess you can liken that to morning camp is kind of like weekend services at church, and youth group is kind of like nighttime at camp, you know? And so everything I'm describing, I'm so glad you brought that up because that would be so awkward if you like
running around the room with the kazoo, shaving cream pies in people's face. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to church. Yeah.
Oh, this is for youth group. When you're trying to hype up a group, okay, we should have clarified that in the beginning.
In a smaller group, sometimes it's a little harder too.
It is, yeah.
But I'm thinking back though, because I was a volunteer when your youth ministry was like, it wasn't 11 kids. You were probably up to like 13 at that point. But you were still pretty insane, like doing the announcements. Like you brought the energy even with a smaller group.
some of us have the gift.
And it translated, but
I think the kids loved it. I mean, I like you said, you read the room. I abandon myself a lot. I don't get up there and I'm like, oh no, what is everyone thinking of me? I'm like, I'm just here and I'm ready to have a good time. Join me or don't, and I want to get people engaged. But I think that's part of a great MC too, is confidence. And that's what Kirk really has. He succeeds usually in any one of those settings because he's confident and he just owns the room. And I think I have a measure of that confidence too, where I get up and I'm like, let's do this. And I think on a Tuesday night that definitely carries me. So number 4, kind of to segue, it's to keep control and attention. So the MC needs to stay ahead of the crowd. Like, you're supposed to keep them engaged, keep their attention, and keep control. And here's some ways that you can hopefully be successful at that. You got to keep moving. So don't try to say too many words. Like, if you guys do announcements, you need to keep them simple and keep them short. Just give them the facts. You don't need to go on and on and on. You're going to lose them. So don't spend too much time speaking about like, and then we're going to do this and this and this. It's like, just move on. Give them what they need to know. We're going to be at the beach on Thursday, 11 to 2. I hope you guys join us. Bring some money. We'll probably go get ice cream. What's next? Next week, we're leaving for camp. Be here at 7 a.m. So just keep moving, and then pairing your announcements so they're not all just like rapid fire PowerPoint or Pro Presenter slides. I like to pair recap videos with certain announcements. So when we announced camp, it wasn't just like sign up for camp. We would show a recap video to let camp announce itself. And then we would have different versions of that so that it wasn't like, yeah, we've seen this 800 times, even though they did see it 800 times. Caleb came up with a different one that was slightly different or slightly shorter or showed different footage or had a different song to keep them re-engaged with it. So if you're going to announce your all over nighter or your Glover nighter or whatever, show footage from the previous year and turn that into a little marketing blurb, because that will re-engage their attention. It's a lot more interesting to say, look at what we did last year, put to some fun music and all the kids having a great time, than you going, you guys are going to have so much fun. Well, show me. And I think that keeps control and attention where it's supposed to be.
Which is also a friendly reminder to make sure you're filming all your events and things that you want to promote down the road.
Yeah. And the truth is, you don't need a whole lot of footage. You just, a promo video should be 20 seconds or less. They're very short. It could just be a few scenes, highlights, music, and then sign up start August 6th, whatever. And then my last tip is partner with your tech team. If you do have a tech team, if not, whoever is running tech for you, even if that's just a student pushing a button back there, just make sure they know their cues and know what your expectations are. So the MC and the tech booth working together are, for us, very, very, very important. So our Tuesday night prep thread that goes like to my interns and me and the directors and stuff, it will also go to the tech team, and he'll look through it and he'll say, hey, I notice you're playing. We played a really fun game called Andy's Coming. I'll teach you guys sometime how to play. That was a hit. He said, okay, Andy's Coming. That's a new game. What do you want for that? I said, well, it's kind of like Toy Story themed. And so we're going to need like the Toy Story theme song probably at the beginning, but then it's going to have a part where the kids have to do this. And he's like, okay, how about the Mission Impossible theme for that? I said, yeah, great. And then he's like, okay, well then when like Andy comes back in the room, what do you want that to sound like? I'm like, well, here's what he's going to be doing. And he's like, oh, I think I can find a sound for that. And then he's like, so what should the lights do during that? So he just made our game infinitely better because he knew how to play it. He had ideas of how to cue sound for it and how to cue lights for it. And he set up a little spotlight and everything. Now, he's a very rare find. So I understand that you might be thinking, must be nice. Yeah, took me 17 years to find him. So he is a unicorn and he cares a whole lot about everything going perfectly. That is rare. So if you have someone that you feel like you could throw that kind of stuff too, or you input it yourself and tell the kid running it like, hey, during this part of the game, I want you to play this song. During this part of the game, play this song. You could go with light cues too. Like sometimes we do, like if a kid gets the answer right, the lights turn green. If they get the answer wrong, it goes wah, wah, and the lights turn red, you know? So coordinate with tech to make your MC experience as engaging as possible. If they know what you're doing and they have the right gift set to make that stuff really pop, it makes this experience for your students so much better.
Yeah.
Like I can't even describe to you how much better our youth group has gotten in the last, I think I've had him for like 3 or 4 years. And I'm like, you are what I've always wanted, but didn't know existed. Someone who actually cares like what game we're playing. It's not like, well, it's dodgeball, just turn on music.
Right.
It's like, no, but they understand like it's supposed to get quiet during this part when we pause the game or when whatever. And then when we restart the round and you have the right light sequence. And he even has a playlist for our games. And then it's just having someone who cares about that. So if you don't, maybe you can be that person and just ask someone to execute your vision, even if they don't quite have the vision. If you could get the vision for your games and how you want the tech to go for your youth group night, maybe you could just impart that on somebody else.
A lot of people may not have the stage lights and things like that, but you probably have access to the soundboard to be able to do music. And that would be, you know, bare minimum just to kind of bring that level up, make it more of an experience.
And keep in mind, I don't do all that for my weekend services. They are much more stripped down, and because we're in one room with only so many resources. And so I take the tips that I gave, but they're just dialed back. Like I still try to engage the audience. Like for example, weekend service, some of these tips would translate like this. Hey guys, welcome. So happy you're here. Go ahead and check in if you haven't already while everyone's checking in.
Does your voice need to get like higher when you do it too?
Do you have to get more annoying?
Yes. A resounding yes.
I will
side note, every time Kristen talks to somebody on the phone, like customer service, hi, yeah, I just wanted, I'm like, who is this?
It's friendly Kristen.
Well, who do I get the rest of the time?
Regular Kristen. Regular.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'll do is I'll have kids like just, hey, did anyone do anything fun this weekend? And it's a smaller group, so we can actually share that. And they'll raise their hand. They'll be like, I had a baseball game and we lost 3-0 or something. Oh man, that's a bummer. My family and I are going camping this weekend. Or they'll say, my birthday's coming up. So I just let them share for a little bit. And then we do something called the lottery, where they put their name tag in a bucket instead of wearing it. And then I have them all stand up and I pick out a winner, and then I do process of elimination. If you're a boy, sit down. If you're wearing Vans, sit down. If you're wearing a hat, sit down until there's one person standing. They get a piece of candy. That's some light engagement that they enjoy. We do a would you rather. You could stop and ask, all right, we had a pretty like hard to answer would you rather. How many of you guys picked this one? And then their hands go up. How many of you guys picked that one? And then you could even say, all right, I'm going to interview one person from each side. Tell me why you answered the way you did. It's just little ways to get them engaged, and it's not too big because you're just in a classroom with like 20 kids or something. So yeah, it's the same idea scaled back differently for the setting. That would
I guess that kind of goes back to the read your audience. You know,
well, and that's why I wanted to come back to it, because all the examples I was giving had to do with big youth group camps, like trying to own a big room and then take it and make it small. And so stuff like that. And I always love a really important part of the MC's job is leading the game well, keeping control of the room, leading the game, like making sure you understand how to play and that you can explain it very clearly. And a lot of times I notice that's when I'm teaching people how to MC, that's where they fumble the most. And they'll be like, so we're playing human foosball, but like, okay, so there's 6 people on a pole. Kristen, could you come explain it? And they will usually ask me to come and do it. So make sure you're very clear in your mind so that they're not just sitting there going, what? because they will anyways, because they don't listen. But make sure you can be as clear as possible and that you can run it very clearly. All right, I need everyone who's doing this on this side. Like just even practice or organize. It has to be organized in your mind if you're going to execute it in a way that people can follow, understand, and be engaged as much as possible. So that's a big part of it as well. And then doing a great pass off to whoever's speaking. But yeah, just you're the friendly face, you're the energy, you're the warmth, you're the bridge between the stage and the crowd, and you're trying to get everyone's participation and excitement and engagement. That's the MC's job. Yeah. These are just my methods.
Yeah, it works. You do a good job of it.
Do I?
You do. Hey, we did an episode not too many weeks ago, I think, about kind of getting control of maybe a little bit of the wild youth group. We talked a little bit about emceeing and stuff from upstage, but on stage, that might be helpful to you, kind of how to just control the entire night, not just the MC portion, but maybe something you want to check out. All right, now we're going to do our question of the day, and then we're going to announce our first winner for our 200th episode giveaway. Our 200th episode was last week, so this is 201.
We already have a winner?
We do have a winner.
I don't even know who it is.
We're giving, I know. We're giving away, this week, we're giving away rhino skin.
I love rhino skins.
Dodgeballs.
Are they this size?
Yeah,
this is
the 6-inch coated foam.
6 inches. 6-inch ribbon curls, honey. This is the perfect size because you can grip it with one hand
and rip it with the other.
You can chuck this thing so hard.
Yeah, and they don't hurt too bad when they hit you in the face. So.
That's why I say headshots count, because if you're getting hit with a rubber playground ball, I understand.
That stings.
I understand headshots not counting. If you're getting hit with a rhino skin and you're in junior high or high school, headshots count.
And you probably deserve it. So we'll announce that in a second. And if you want to know all the details about how to enter and how to get extra entries, one of those is actually answering the question of the day, which we're about to do. But make sure you check out last week's episode, which was, what was it about? Oh, whether you're working super hard or you're in a busy season. Here we go. Take 6. Whether you're in a busy season or you are burning out. So make sure you check that out. Look in the description below and you can find out all the details about how to enter and all that. So question of the day is, what is a smell, a scent, an odor that you like that might be offensive or odd to other people?
I hate the word odor. But
wait, I know yours. Yours is funnier than mine. Let me go first, and then we'll end with your weird one. I like the smell, like when they're putting down asphalt or like tar, like that kind. I like that.
Redoing a parking lot.
Yeah, I like that scent. I'm gonna do 2, and the other one is I don't like the smell of cigarettes, like at all, but I do like the smell of like stale hotel cigarette smell. And I think it's like a trigger.
I was going to say, it must be
traveling
nostalgia.
From when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We'd go stay at like just the dumpiest motels when we'd go on vacation. But it was so fun that I feel like that smell is like now associated.
It triggers
with,
like good memories. Yeah.
Just when you walk into that just $13 a night hotel and you're like, this place smells like stale cigarettes.
I know what smell you're talking about. It does smell like childhood a little bit. It smells like family vacations. My favorite smell in the whole world, and I try to get my whole family.
The whole world?
Okay, the weirdest favorite smell in the whole world. The weirdest favorite smell. Guys, so many adjectives, Jeff. And I try to get my whole family to like it, is the smell of a dachshund's ear. I love it.
It's different than other breeds of dogs' ears?
Yes, dachshund ear is heavenly.
Would you wear it as a perfume?
I don't think I want to smell like it. I want to.
Would you want me to, like a cologne for me that I should smell like it?
I wouldn't mind if your ears smelled like
dachshund ear.
They just love them, especially when they're really hot. Like they've been out in the sun.
Baked dachshund ear.
And they come in, their ears are all hot. It intensifies the ear smell.
All right. See if you can top that. Put in the comment section below what is a weird smell that you like that maybe other people might find weird or disgusting. All right. The winner for the first week of our giveaway, we have 4 more weeks coming after this, but this is for the rhino skin set of rhino skin dodgeball. The winner is Julie Chapman.
Julie! Hooray for you.
Little known fact, only known by me, now you, and anybody listening, and Julie, is this is actually the second time she's won in a giveaway. She won.
What's your secret?
I think it was the first giveaway we ever did at
What'd
episode
she win?
50. She won the grand prize.
What was it?
It wasn't that much for back then because we didn't have that much to give, but we're going to step it up. It was, I think, an Amazon gift card back then.
Okay.
Wow, maybe a shirt or something.
Yay. Well, hey, it pays to play.
Stick around and give entries.
Now that's her second win. I feel like we've had another girl that's won more than once too.
Katie, the Viper Vipperman. The Vipperman.
Did you just come up with that?
No, I think everybody in the world probably came up with that before me.
It's cute. I like her. Well, yay. Congratulations, Julie. Thank you for entering, listening, and I hope you have a great time with your rhino skins.
Yes, definitely. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
Are you looking for ways to improve yourself as an MC or leading up front? That doesn't really make sense, does it? Are you looking... If you're looking for ways to improve... What? If you're looking for ways to lead up front...